Thanks for joining me today. Today, I am going to talk about that loudmouth. We all know the type. You're in a meeting, you're in a group setting, whether you're socializing, at work, whatever. And there's always that one person who has to be heard, speaking over everybody, cutting everybody off, and maybe they're doing that one-up thing. You tell a story, you share an insight, and they've got to tell you one that's just one better. The worst is in the professional setting, in my opinion, it's the worst when you are trying to have a collaborative meeting, but there's just one person whose voice has to be heard. That one person who is just overpowering everybody. Now, I can speak to this because that used to be me, to the point that I would even repeat myself multiple times to make sure my point was heard. I didn't do a really good job of stopping and listening to what other people had to say, to what other people wanted to contribute. And this happens in every aspect of life, socially, professionally. It even happens in our education system. So my challenge to you, my leadership challenge to you today is pay attention for those signs. Make sure that that's not you. Make sure that you're taking the time to stop talking. Make sure that you're taking the time to ask the probing questions. Ask people what they think. Wait for their feedback. And don't wait to respond. Genuinely listen and process what they're saying. What I have found since I have adopted this habit is I am in more rooms that are collaborative than I've ever been in before. I'm not always going to have the best idea. That's why I try to surround myself with people that are smarter than me. But what good is it to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you if all you're going to do is talk over them? Now, if you're in this spot, if you are the person who's being talked over and you've got the loudmouth in the room, here's some advice on that. Sometimes you've just got to sit back and let them talk. And what I have done is when I'm the victim of the loudmouth, I will sit there and I will let them make their point. I will wait for my turn to talk. Now, if this person continues to talk over me, continues to interrupt me, what I will do is when they give me a chance to speak again, I will point blank look them in the eyes and say, here's what I understand your point is. And I'll repeat it back to them. If it's super aggressive and you still can't get a word in, sometimes you have to just say, I've understood your point. I'd like to make my point. I believe my point has value. Now, in some cases, you're going to be dealing with a bully. You're going to be dealing with somebody who doesn't really care to hear your opinion. So there's not always a good solution to it, but these are just a couple tips that I want to share with you about. Sometimes it does take courage to just sit down and listen. The Winston Churchill quote hit me and inspired this thought that courage is what it takes to stand up and speak, but courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. If you're having difficulties with these subjects, I'm not hard to find. You have found me now. You can reach out to me. I'm happy to have this conversation with you to offer some very specific tips to your situation. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope that you have found the videos useful and have subscribed to the channel. And I look forward to sharing more with you. Please don't be afraid to give feedback. If there's a subject you want to know about, that you want to talk about, you want to discuss, I don't claim to have all the answers, but I do claim to be a pretty good conversationalist, and I think we can work it out. So thank you again. Subscribe, hit the bell if you want to be notified every time a video goes live, and I'm grateful for your support.